Mr. Criminal on air live 2023, the most realest and most active podcast on the motherfucking West Coast. You know how we do it. Shout out to everybody all out there supporting, subscribers going crazy. What was the moment that you decided to go from Little Yogi to YBE? Let's talk about the name change.
Okay, so with that, fucking, one of my boys and shit, he started fucking, cause I was selling CDs. I ain't seen the homie in years, fool. Yeah. And but when he seen me, I was like 16. And I was fucking, he seen me just writing. And he was just like, man, this little fool. He's like, what's up, fool? He's like, you love writing music? And I was like, hell yeah, my boy. Like, this is my shit. Fast forward, I was like 21. And I'm fucking outside selling CDs. And this fool pulls up. And I'm like, what's up, homie? You listen to rap? And that fool rolls down the window. He's like, what's up, fool? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what's up, my boy? And he's like, I'm gonna pull up real quick. I was like, cool. He pulls up. And he's like, man, what's up, fool? Like, why you out here selling CDs like this? I was like, man, I gotta do my thing, fool. He's like, what do you need? And I don't know, you know, in that time, I'm still kind of like new, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I need a fingers track. You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
Needed a fingers track back then, my boy. I'm not mad at you, homie.
You know what I'm saying?
He was the shit, homie.
Yeah. That was literally my answer, fool. Like, I need a fingers track.
Hell yeah.
He's like, how much he taught? I think like, you know, I don't want to put his numbers out there. And he was like, all right, cool, let's go. Yeah. That fool took me in there, dog.
But you definitely had to have your bag right.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
And the homie, you know, he had his bag right. And he took me there, dog. He got me 2 tracks with him. And he got at me and you know, we had a little meeting and he was just like, man, fool, like the Little Yogi shit's cool, but I feel like you should switch it up. And then we came over with YBE. And it was really YB for another little, you know, we just changed it up, fool. And I didn't like the way the Y space BE looked. Yeah. So I just put all that shit together in all caps, just YBE. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna run with it like that. Damn. So
Fingers has some fucking balls telling you that in this first session.
No. He didn't tell me that. My boy.
Oh, the investor.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I was gonna say, dog, Fingers is tripping.
Nah.
That's how you lose some clients there, dog. Nah, Fingers will let you know how he feels about a record real quick. He'll turn around. Cool. Now, I'll tell you like this. If that fool turns around and he has his fucking arm on his shit like this looking at you, he's going to say something negative, dog. That's 100,000%. Every time he says some shit to me to critique my shit, I'm like, oh, here he goes with his fucking arm on his chair again. I already know the body language. I mean, shout out to Fingers. It's people like that actually care and put their quota into your shit. That's why the summer nights come out. That's why the fucking, you know, the big hits, the Lean Like a Cholos, because he puts that extra love in that.
I feel like he was. Come on, dog. He's one of the ones too.
100,000%.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones that was he was the sound of the commercial sound of Chicano rap.
Yeah. Facts.
There's no debating, no arguing about it.
Pretty much all the radio records that Raza has is more than likely produced by Fingers.
Look, when I got in the game, 2001, 2000. Everybody was on oldie beats, samples, loops, nothing more than that. We started getting in a little bit more with more original production. I know Shadow was doing that, Royalty. There was a couple artists that were doing a little bit more original production, but it was still motherfucking sample based. I remember going to the studio and just everything was gangster shit. Fingers was the one that made it like, okay, now we got to start aiming for the radio sound, you know, because Little Rob was on the radio with him. This motherfucker was on the radio. Capone started getting on the radio. I was like, shit, we fuck around and not get a Fingers, but you get left behind in the radio.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
pretty much where it was going, you know. So shout out to Fingers, man. He deserves his flowers for everything he's done in the game. Imagine no Fingers, where Chicano rap would be.
Yeah,
like
facts.
really think about that.
Hell yeah.
There would have never been a Summer Nights, or never been a Mommy Mira, there would never been half the shit that was done in this rap game that became explosions for this thing we call Chicano rap.
I recently just did another record with him too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
With that Mexican OT.
Oh yeah, that fool's hard.
Too hard.
That fool's super hard. I like his shit.
Yeah.
How'd you hook up with him?
I just heard that fool on the food community.
Yeah.
They just posted his shit and I heard it and I was like, man, who the fuck is this?
You're like, I gotta tap in?
Yeah, I tapped in. And you know, crazy thing though is like, that fool right there, dog, he's really good people, dog. Like, he really showed me a lot of love.
That's dope.
Like, a lot of love. That fool took me on his tour and everything recently.
Is that right?
You know when I was in Texas?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. I was on his tour and shit.
How did it feel getting that love from out there, from that type of
It's
artist?
cool, man. It's just, Texas is different. I tripped out. That was my first time out there and shit.
Yeah. What parts were you in?
We were in Fort Worth and Austin.
Oh, hell yeah. Shout out to everybody out there in Fort Worth and Austin. That's a motherfucking dangerous area.
Yeah.
You got to be on your P's and Q's right there, my boy.
Yeah.
Definitely, homie. That's a dangerous area.
Yeah, like the Austin show was a lot of raza for sure. A lot of raza. And the Fort Worth, there was a lot of like white and black.
Yeah.
But it was crazy, like to see that, like to see a raza rapper pulling
all
the
that type
white
of people.
and black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, it's different in Texas.
It is.
They still have their pride and they still represent because they're homie rappers or you know, they represent for what they are, their culture. But it's a little bit more like Texas has like a pride about them. Like they don't have the borders we have. We have invisible borders out here that
they work together.
They don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a Texas motherfucker.
Facts.
He's on already. Let's get him. Like, that's how they fuck with it. You know, it's not like, oh, that fool's from up there. He's this, he's that. You know.
Yeah.
It's just music to them. You know?
Yeah, and that's a good thing because I feel that's why they coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So
what's your opinion on cats like Swifty Blue and Lil Grifo signing the Gotos? Like, I know a lot of people have opinion on that shit.
I mean, I don't really have an opinion about it, but would I do it? I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just grew up a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, raised by who I was raised by is just that's not the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? But am I against it? I'm not against it. Like, I think it's good. You know what I'm saying? For the raza,